Welcome to another episode of the Brown Couch Bruhz.
Brown Couch Bruhz. Here we go on Jefferson.
Hey, we -1 today, but we +1 today.
So and we got one.
We got one. So we'll introduce our guests in just a second. But in customary fashion, let's toast it up.
All right.
Toast with our guest today.
I must be in the front row.
Man, you ain't gonna toast me, man. You missing it, man. You starting off already on the wrong foot with me.
No. It's all about how we end.
Well, let's tip it off. Just what you got for your tip off today.
All right, so to bring you up to speed, man, our tip off is something we're not gonna cover today. You know, we seen it. It brought to our attention, and we've talked about Dion quite a few.
We did.
Colorado, Dion. But what a lot of people don't know, and my man Ron Taylor, who's on Facebook, he has a page, Black Talk Sports. He brought it to my attention that the Colorado Buffaloes, their average GPA right now is 3.0. Okay. First time this ever happened. It doesn't get enough credit with Dion. We see everything else. But, man, that's big. That's big. The first time in their history.
Oh, yeah?
That they've been 3.0. You know, I remember me and my roommate at Tennessee State, first semester when I was there, we carried a 3.8 together. But then after it was all said and done, we kind of dropped. But John Caffer, shout out to you, my room dog. He still carried this 4.0, so I kind of brought it down a little bit. But that's all right. But, it's an average. But, man, shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes, their football team, 80 to 100 guys. And they averaging a 3.0, man. So shout out to that, man. So that's my tip off for that, man. We'll talk more on that later. Dion, keep doing what you're doing, man, impacting these young fellas.
Congratulations to the Colorado Buffaloes. I mean, we talked about it on the show, quite a bit. There was a lot of knocks on Dion in terms of how well, he was going to adjust to being a college coach. And for him and his group to achieve not only on the playing surface but also in the classroom is really a testament to him and his leadership.
No doubt.
But I'm gonna tip off today on what we saw a couple nights ago in Memphis with Ja Morant. Ja Morant dunks on Wemby.
That was nasty.
Now, although it did not count.
Didn't count.
And I'm with everybody who says it did not count. It's always good to have Ja back in the NBA. Hopefully he's, past all of his issues with the pistols. Put the pistols down, Ja, and be a basketball player. But what a great play that he had the other night on Wemby.
Yeah.
And it's going to be on every highlight from here throughout Ja's career.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a shout out to him and shout out to that team. They're actually in second place right now. Memphis is. And so having a great season, and he's back in the mix leading the team.
That's what you call posterized. That's what he did to him. He posterized him. So
and our guest today had one of those against a 5'2" guy when we was in college. We'll get to that. A 5'2" guy who's probably the president of IBM right now.
Hey, man, all I do is take advantage of whoever's out there.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, they put him on the, what you say, Chris Carter say you put him in the program, I'm going to put him in the paper.
We'll get to that,
you hear the voice of our guests. We are pleased today to have London Fletcher here with us, 16-year NFL pro, Super Bowl champion 1999 with the Rams, 4 years with them, 5 years with Buffalo, 7 years with the then Washington Redskins, and now Commanders. John Carroll's own St. Joe's Hall of Famer, and a short stint with the Flash in St. Francis with me.
Red flag.
So welcome, London Fletcher, to the show.
Appreciate y'all having me, man. Yeah, hey, man, how you gonna try to hate on my dunk on that thing, man? Me and T, we go way back.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Roommates in college back in St. Francis when I was a hooper. See, a lot of people don't know about my hoop game.
I was surprised to hear about it.
I had to tell cats about my hoop game. Man, listen, I can get buckets.
Look, man, when we was on, first time we met, we were on our visit. We just talking, and, neither one of us probably knew that we were going to go and commit to St. Francis, but we both end up committing. So after that visit, I'm calling my high school coach at the time, Andre White, And he's asking me, how did the trip go? How did the visit go? I said, man, it went well. They treated me well. They fed me.
Yeah.
I got back all right, and everything is cool. I said, I really like it. They like me. And he was like, what, was anybody else up there with you? I was like, yeah, man, it was this dude. I don't know if he there for basketball or football, but he was on my trip too. I said, if he ended up signing here, I don't know how many games we win, but we are going to be physical.
Hey, you recognize that? That's on the recruiting visit.
I know we going to be physical.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But, man, great time at St. Francis, man. And it's one of those places where, you really there for basketball or for school. It. Ain't too much else going on. And we had to make our own fun many a day.
We get into that.
Get into a little bit of that later on.
Oh, man.
But talk to us. I mean, you mentioned it yourself. Folks don't really know that you had a basketball career.
Yeah.
And a storied career at St. Joe's. You played both. Ended up going to John Carroll. And really making your way in football. Mm-hmm. But talk to us just a little bit about how you got to the NFL.
Yeah, it's wasn't the traditional route. Obviously, going to college on a basketball scholarship right out of high school. I was a hooper my whole, from elementary on up. That was what I was known for, hooping. Right. And I just played the 1 year high school football. Only reason I did that because I didn't want to have any mistakes or any regrets, I should say. Get 40 years old, 50 years old down the line, talking about the woulda, shoulda, coulda, wish I did this, wish I did that.
Right.
So I said, man, I'm going to go ahead and play football my senior year just to know how I would have done it. And I balled out, had Division I football offers for that, but my heart was set on hooping, man. I was like, man, this face got to stay. People need to see it. I ain't trying to put no helmets on. No helmet on. So I was all in on basketball. I had some mid-major offers for basketball, a couple for both, and then went to St. Francis on my visit, went up there, ended up committing, man. Was there about a year and a half. Now, it was good for me that first year getting out of the city.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, it wasn't a whole lot going on up in Loretto, man. You get up there and be like, dang, it's nothing.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing up there, man.
Yeah.
Them winters, cold, long. So it gets boring after a while. Went there for about a year and a half, then transferred to Carroll, played both sports at Carroll for about a year or so, then gave up the basketball. I was out there fouling too much. I was playing games with 3 fouls, but then football just became it was a new passion for me. It was fun. I hadn't done it over the years, didn't have a whole lot of wear and tear. Then I started wrecking shop, man, even at the Division III level. Some of the coaches there were like, we think you can play pro. So started to kind of lean into that. And next thing I know, I was All-American, getting looked at by NFL teams. Thought I was going to get drafted out of college, end up not working out as far as getting drafted, but, went to the Rams and as an undrafted rookie and went there, made the team and was rookie of the year, and the rest was history.
I was going to say, you went ham after that, bro.
It was all from there, but, it worked out the way it was supposed to work out. It was crazy thing. So in high school, I'm sure I told you this, but I only played the 1 year high school football. I had football offers to Bowling Green to play bowl, Miami of Ohio, and Ohio State and Michigan both offered me as preferred walk-ons.
I don't know that I
ain't never tell you that.
Wow.
Yeah, they both
do that.
Hey, boy, I got some haters over there. I locked one of them up in practice. But O State, Lloyd Carr came. He came to my high school, sat in there watching film, and they was like, we want to offer you as a preferred walk-on. I'm like, man, I ain't got no money to be paying for those schools. I ain't about to walk on nothing.
Right.
Now, if y'all give me a hoop scholarship, and I'll play some football for y'all.
Then we can figure it out.
So it ended up working out where once I gave up, went all in on football, it was up.
Who was your basketball inspiration, though, man, for you to want to stick it out like that?
Man, it's just like most inner city kids, we love basketball. So
just to play.
Yeah, I was a big time Cavs fan, hated the Pistons. As you can imagine.
That's too bad.
Hated the Pistons. I just love basketball. That's something we did all the time. It wasn't like, you got your guys you like. Obviously, you had your Magic Johnson, your Michael Jordan, you know, the Cavs, all the Cavs guys back there, Ron Harper, Mark Price, all them dudes back in the day. But it just, most people love basketball in the inner city.
That's what's up.
You know, for both of us, you know, we had the privilege of being, you know, our coach at St. Francis, Tom McConnell's first recruits.
Yeah.
You know, and it was his first coaching job. So in his second year, this is his first recruiting class, and the two people he gave scholarships to were you and I.
Yeah.
And, you know, oftentimes it takes people like that to like see something in you. You know, so talk about who saw something in you with the Rams. I mean, because it had to be, you know, somebody who said, you know what, we should give that guy a shot.
Well, it was first it was their, they had what you call your regional scout, the scouts to come in. They have a certain area. Dude's name was Billy Campfield, and he was the one who was responsible for recruiting that area. Came in, checked me out, and he really liked what he saw on my film. Then he sent it up to, you know, his boss's general manager at that time was Charlie Army, and they brought me in after the draft. It is funny because when I get there, they like, London, we want you to come in, and they after the draft, it was like a mini camp. They're like, well, we want you have you come in as a tryout player. I'm like, all right, whatever. So I get there, and when I get there, they like, well, we want to sign you to a contract. So I'm like, all right, well, you know, y'all gonna give me a signing bonus? Because even though they would get free agent signing bonus, you might get anywhere from $2,500 to $25,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And say, nah, we ain't gonna give you no signing bonus. I'm like, man, you give me something, man. He's like, no, we ain't give you nothing. So we and him go back and forth for, it felt like an hour, probably only like 3 minutes, not even that long. So we sitting there looking at each other. I'm like, man, you giving me a signing bonus. He's like, all right, well, we just gonna send you back home. So I'm like, all right, I ain't stupid, but I also ain't gonna let him punk me. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sign this contract, but I'm gonna come back for some more money. So I'm like, you ain't gonna, all right, I'm gonna sign this contract. So I signed it. Ended up making the team. It was the rookie of the year for that season for our team. But I only signed a 1-year contract. So next year, it's off-season workouts about to start. I'm holding out. I told you I was coming back for some more money.
I want my money.
You got to cut the check, baby. You got to cut the check.
I need that bonus, man, plus with interest. And so I had a 1-day holdout. Dick Vermeil got me some money, got my bonus money, got me some incentive. So I told him I was going to get that money. They gave me some more money.
1 whole day, huh?
Hey, that's all it took.
That's all it took.
hey, they wanted me there. Like, I'm not coming back there until y'all give me some money.
So, you know, you start off on the practice squad.
No, I went straight to the active roster.
Straight to the active roster, but then you're playing special teams.
Yeah.
And then, you know, eventually you work your way up from special teams to be the starting middle linebacker. At the time that the greatest show on turf was starting to form. So talk a little bit about, you know, a lot of attention was placed on offense.
Oh, man.
But the defense was also stout during that time and doesn't get enough recognition for what you all did during that time. So talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, you know, the way it is with the NFL, offense going to sell the tickets. They're going to garner a lot of attention. And the way our offense was scoring and the players that we had on there, they were getting all the headlines. People were thinking that we were winning games only because our offense. Yeah, offense was great, but we were beating teams 40-3 and 40-10 and something like that. We had a top 5 defense, one of the top rushing defenses, top scoring defenses, you know, whatever you want to call it. We had all the metrics that top defenses have, but a lot of people to this day think we were terrible on defense. Like we were winning shootouts. No, we weren't winning shootouts.
Right.
These weren't close games.
Yeah, these are blowouts.
And our offense was such a quick strike offense. We'd be on the field playing a lot more plays than a lot of teams because our offense was scoring 1 play, 2, 3 play drives, and we back out there getting the back on the field and getting the ball back to our offense. But man, we had some dominant dudes on that defense, and we had a dominant special teams too unit as well during that time.
Wow. So you know it's crazy, and what I don't think it's enough credit on your end is so today I didn't know if I was gonna make it. You know, I was like, man, I got to get to this interview. I got to, you know, and I was like, the only guarantee I got to get to this interview is to call in to work. Don't go. And then
you called off work.
So, hold on.
Hopefully they won't see this.
Right. That's what I was going to do. Then I did a deep dive. I said, you know, I've been watching this career, but what I did not know, and I found out, and is what got me to go to work and come here, do what I had to do. 16 seasons, bro. You didn't miss a game.
Yeah.
Dog, I mean, with all this that's going on, low management, NBA and everything that we see, for you not to miss a day, bro, hey, man, hats off to that in itself, man. That's big, man. How did you do that?
Yeah, we built different in Cleveland. Yeah.
Is that what it is? That's what they call it.
You see, y'all Detroit boys trying to take off work. Go do a podcast.
You built different.
Hey, dude took off work when I started that first game as a rookie. He never got his job.
Never got his job. So,
we'll believe it. Let you get our spot.
That's what's up.
Don't sleep.
Man, I love playing the game. I missed a game in high school I had a sprained ankle. Man, I was miserable on that sideline.
Yeah.
I was like, man, they out there having fun.
Yeah.
I can't play.
Yeah.
So from there, it's like, if it's within my control, if I can play, I'm going to play. And I was also fortunate. I never had like a catastrophic injury, and, fluke injury. A lot of guys, they do everything, all the right things. And somebody might fall into their leg the wrong way and they blow a knee out. I had guys fall into my legs where it might have blew somebody's knee out, the ACL, where I may just had a sprain. And, hey, y'all got a way to tape this thing up.
Put some tape on, rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, give me a numbing injection, man. Hey, I'm playing.
Yeah.
And that was my mentality. I took care of my body, listened to it, God's grace and blessings. And so I was able to never really have like that crazy injury. I had some bad injuries that most people could have set out and would have set out games, but I was like, man, I'm playing.
Man, hats off to that, bro.
Well, I mean, when you look at the state of professional athletics now, I mean, you got a lot of guys. I mean, Jess even mentioned it. You talk about load management and a lot of that. And some of it, you look at it and you say, okay, well, the team is just saving this guy so that he can have a longer career.
Right.
Some of it, particularly that in the NBA, is we want guys to be healthy at the end of the season.
Right.
So what is your take on how that's managed, whether it's load management, whether it's preparing for a long season? What is your take on that? Should guys play or should guys be sort of sitting out?
Yeah, I think for me, if you feel like you can go out there and perform your job, because injuries happen. If you feel like you can go out and perform your job and not put yourself at further risk, then you should play. Now, the conversation there's a lot more people in these conversations. You got the owners that's going to be in these conversations, GM, the coaches, especially when you're looking at a sport like basketball. Hey, does it make sense to play this game against, I don't know, name a team on a Wednesday in February, or knowing that we got a bigger picture goal of trying to make a deep postseason run. Right. But what makes it difficult is when you pay a lot of money, especially if it's a road team coming in, you paid a lot of money, your family saved up your money, you want to go see this superstar, whoever the superstar player is, and you get there and he's not playing. So there's a disappointment. Hey, we just resting him. Like, he's not injured. We just gonna rest him. I think guys have to take ownership. Like, no, man, I'm gonna play. Like, you got some guys who like, I'm gonna play every game I'm capable of playing. If I'm not hurt, I'm gonna play. But you got a guy like Joel Embiid. He came out and said he wasn't playing before the season started. I'm not playing back to backs.
Before the season started.
I mean, that could have been his mentality. But why state that publicly? Because now you open yourself up for ridicule. But I'm always in the mindset, man, if you can play.
Yeah. I mean, I guess my issue is there's no penalty for it, right? I mean,
the NBA tried to, do something where you got to, in order to get a postseason award.
Yeah, you got to play 60 games.
But they don't care about that. You look at a guy like Joel Embiid who's coming off a MVP season.
Yeah.
You know, they're going nowhere fast, and this guy comes out and says he's not playing. He's losing nothing. He's losing nothing right now. And I think that has a lot to do with the reason why guys are sitting out, because they're not penalized. And, you know, I'm sure you could speak to it. I felt like I owed it to the guys in the locker room to be out there and be available for my teammates, right? And so, you know, if there's any penalty, it's the fact that his teammates don't trust him. You know, you got guys out here who, you know, I don't know if this guy's really ready. He was talking about sitting out last week. Here it is this week. I need him to block.
Right. But it ain't even just, I don't think it's like that in them locker rooms, because, I mean, Embiid is one example, but you got other guys where they just, the team said, hey, we going to rest you. Like, you only going to play X amount of games. You might only, they go into the seasons saying you only going to play 65 games. And these are we got these 17 games you're going to miss regardless. And so I don't think that a lot of the teammates are looking at it from a standpoint like, man, I don't trust him. He's not out here with us, because it's being driven by these teams. Part of the reason, like I know the NBA crushed the NFL crushed the NBA on Christmas Day. Like crushed them.
Oh, yeah.
And from a rating standpoint, they're like, well, why is that? Because our stars play.
Exactly.
They play every game, man. And those, you know, the product that the NBA is putting out there where your best players aren't playing night in and night out, it's gonna harm the product.
Yeah,
well,
for sure.
Well, if we ain't learned anything from this episode, Joel Embiid, stay in Philly. You're not welcome in Cleveland.
No. Let me. I'm an Embiid fan, and I know he's.
I'm
an Embiid fan, and I know with him, some of it is truly injuries. Like it is. You want to get him to the postseason, and they could have had that mentality, but don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it publicly. Like this. This could have always been the plan, but don't say it publicly. And for him, like some games, he's like, you know what? No, I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play tonight. It's important for me to show my teammates, hey, I want to get this done.
Especially against the bigger matchups. I always think, you know, you want to show and prove, show out.
Well, I mean, the word on the street is that, you know, he ducking the Joker.
He's ducking the
Joker. Few seasons. So I don't know how true that is. Plus, you know, Embiid, I think he's a little bit older than what we think he is.
Oh man,
you know how that stuff goes.
Hey, listen. I had a teammate, right? He was from a different country. That's all I'm saying. That boy came on the team, man. He was saying he was 24, 25. I could have swore he's about 38. I was like, dude, you've been here before, man.
Oh, yeah. Especially how guys walk around, man.
Oh, man. I'm like, man, you old, man.
But you fortunate enough to have a great NFL career. And, you know, we talked about this, you and I, you know, privately, and you've been, you know, outspoken about it as well. I mean, you know, you put your numbers up next to a lot of the greats during that time, particularly people who played your position at middle linebacker.
Yeah.
And they're very comparable to a lot of folks. But yet, you still haven't gotten a nod for the Hall of Fame. Does that bother you that you haven't gotten a nod? I mean, where are you at with that right now?
It pisses me off, man. Of course it bothers me, because when you're playing the game, you don't think about all of the accolades, that you don't focus on what you're doing. You just focus on, hey, doing a great job. You're not worried about getting recognition for it. But since I've retired, now I can go back and have a greater appreciation for what my body of work was. And when you look at it, I know what I put into the game. I know what I brought to each and every game. I know the impact I made on those teams and on those defenses and what I was asked to do. And not many middle linebackers could do the job I did and do it as well as I did for as long as I did. Right. I mean, that's a fact. You can do that you put my performance production up against anybody throughout the history of the game. But so it does piss me off, upsets me. And, you know, when you see that I get overlooked, it's like it's some politicking that goes into place with it now too.
Yeah.
Like, man, why I got a politic after already I done did
You put the numbers up.
The numbers are the numbers. Now I need to go sell myself. Like, this the selling point right here. And just evaluate me on based on that. So yeah, it does. It upsets me quite a bit when I continue to get overlooked for that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm confident you're going to get the call.
Yeah,
I'm very confident. Are you still going to be as appreciative when you get the call, even though these series?
No, okay. And when I get, I may go get upset for a couple of days. Like when, and it's long? The way that most of the time I don't think about it, and then when every year they'll come out with the initial list of nominees for the Hall of Fame. So then you got people reaching out, congratulating. Then when they go narrow it down to the semifinalists, whether you're on it or not on it, then that brings up more emotions. And then obviously when they announce who's doing it, then the enshrinement. So it's let's call it 4 times a year where I'm like upset for a couple of days a year. Yeah. So but other than that, man, I don't spend a whole lot of time dwelling on it. So I'll definitely be appreciative of it, and I think it'll be. I mean, I deserve it. I deserve
absolutely.
It without a doubt, and I'll celebrate. And it's not just a celebration for me; it's also, an appreciation for the guys that I play with because I couldn't do any of those things without those guys on that football field and the coaches and the people who supported me throughout those years. So football is the ultimate team sport, and nobody's accomplishing anything by themselves on that football field.
For sure.
Most definitely.
And it's also part of your legacy.
Yes.
Right. I mean, you being now a father of 3, and your son, still now playing high school football. So talk a little bit about that and his experiences doing that, and what's it like, because I think you're coaching your son now.
Yeah.
So what's it like coaching your son? I know for me, when TJ started playing, he will often hear, from other people, oh man, your dad did this, your dad did that. He would always hear, your dad ain't never met a shot he ain't like.
That's facts.
That's always a conversation.
If you ain't shooting it, you ain't trying.
Never made a shot you ain't make.
But now your son going into the sport, and he's playing on the other side of the football now, but just talk a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, you mentioned legacy. It's he's 16, sophomore now, and I can remember probably he had to be maybe 6th, 7th grade. I think he may have been middle school, and some of his teammates or friends knew I played football. They were like, man, your dad, he played in the NFL.
Yeah.
How cool was that? They'd be like, man, my dad sucked. So I hear this, right? I thought he was in elementary. And my wife told me that, my late wife told me about that. And I was like, oh, nah. So he come home. I like, dude, you see all this stuff up in here? This ain't come from no participation. These trophies ain't participation trophies. Yeah. I made him sit there and watch YouTube videos.
I was back in the day.
Dude, you see the numbers I put up?
Yeah.
These are, compare my numbers with this guy, that guy, this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, no. And then, so there'll be times we're traveling, and especially if it's a Washington fans, and we might be in D.C. or whatever. Oh, man, your father, London, man, he was a dog. He was this, he was that. Oh, man, your father was one of the best. I'm like, y'all, you here. So just to reiterate what I've already told him. But coaching him has been great. I coached him in middle school, and then I coach him in the summer on the 7-on-7 circuit.
Yeah.
So that's been awesome. You mentioned he plays offense. I'll give him my perspective from a defensive standpoint, just to stuff, hey, if you do this as an offensive guy, defensive guy doesn't have any choice but to respond this way. He plays receiver, so I can, hey, if you hit him with this stem, especially man-to-man, I have to respect that, and this will allow you to, win your route a lot easier.
Right.
So giving them those type of nuggets, from a work ethic standpoint, trying to let him know, hey, there's levels to this, and just giving him nuggets from that standpoint. And there's times, man, I'm out there training him. I was training receiver stuff, like I'm YouTubing different drills, getting drills. But I know what the work looks like. I know what it's supposed to look like. So it's been fun just watching him develop and grow into his own on that football field.
Yeah. First, condolences to your late wife, to you and your family.
Yeah, appreciate it.
One of the things that stands true is that whether or not you play the position that he plays or not, you know the grind.
Yeah.
You know what it takes to get better each and every day, and the sacrifices that you have to make as an athlete to actually get there.
Yep.
So, what are those conversations about in terms of, his work ethic, eating right, putting the right, foods in your body, the sacrifices you got to make. I'm sure he want to hang out with his homies, and it's time to really get to the business, get in the locker room, get in the weight room rather, and really get your work in. So talk a little bit about what that's like.
Yeah, it's probably like same conversation you had with TJ, just letting them know, man, it's one thing to just do what's required of you, basically. Hey, this is what the coaches want me to do. All y'all doing the same thing. Y'all gonna develop at the same level. There's nobody, how you gonna separate? And you got to go above and beyond just what's the bare minimum. Eating right. Like, dude, do you think elite athletes eat this?
Right.
Sleeping, doing that. He's cramped up several times. Like, I'm telling you about the hydration piece of it. Like, this, you got to hydrate properly.
Yeah.
Just getting in the weight room. Like, you have to be strong to play this game. Stronger athlete is a better athlete. So giving them all those types of nuggets, and there'll be times I'll purposely, like, I'll push the workouts, but then there's times where I'm gonna just sit back and see if he'll
see what he
come to me like, hey, I want to go catch the ball. We gotta, I want to catch the ball. I want to go work out. I want to go lift. So there's times he does it. Still, I want him to do it more. Like, this should be a daily. Like, we need to be doing something daily, and it needs to be led by and driven by you. And then there's sometimes like, all right, you bullshitting. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm about to really take over. So it's a balance of it's definitely those conversations happen all the time.
Yeah, I mean, our sons don't understand. They got the cheat code.
They got the cheat code.
They got the cheat code. Neither one of us had that growing up.
Right, exactly.
Neither one of us had that, and the fact that you are actually engaged with somebody every day that's giving you the information.
Man, I don't know about you. I was thinking about when I hoop, man. Man, I didn't know how to train.
No,
I just hoop.
We just played.
Throw me a ball. Throw me a ball. We just played.
We just played, man.
Man, if I knew how to like train to work on my shot, work on my dribbling, all that the stuff they got now, man, I'd have been in the league hooping.
When I got to St. Francis, I didn't know how to dribble, pass, or shoot. I never learned how to pass.
You know how to score. You still don't know how to pass. You still don't know how to pass. Yeah.
But I learned how to shoot the basketball because I spent every single summer on that campus learning how to shoot, working on my game, and developing myself into a basketball player. The kids now, they have that now. At 10 years old, 12 years old, high school, they got trainers that are working with them on their skill development. So having that information and having access to becoming a better athlete, man, is everything, to get a kid where they want to be.
Man, you hit the nail on the head. Like, I couldn't make a left hand. My left hand leg, I don't need to go left because I'm always getting right. You ain't stopping me.
I'm going strong.
So I never worked on my left. Remember we used to have that the full court left hand layup? Man, I used to dread that.
It was spooky. It was spooky.
Oh man, because if you miss, like we got to start.
Everybody got to start over.
Man, everybody. It was. You did not want to be that guy that missed that left layup.
That perfection drill. And that was one of the first drills in the drill is making your left hand layup.
Oh man.
Well, you're not here just to visit.
No, not at all.
Did I come up here to sightsee?
Come up here to sightsee.
and do this podcast.
But now you're doing the radio show for the Commanders. Doing an outstanding job. I've had a chance to listen to you a few times. But we got a huge game today.
Yeah.
A huge game today. Lions and Commanders tonight in the D. Second round of the NFL playoffs. I was in DC. I think I told you about this. I was in DC earlier this week. And all I heard was, from people I'm talking to from the bellman to the lady at the counter. And just, I got my Lions gear on, talking junk about the game. And all I heard from people was Jaden Daniels. It seems like the city, the DMV area has really taken to this kid. He's outstanding, play on the field. But the things that they talk about are his humility. His humility and his, really his attachment to that community.
Calmness.
His poise, just as a young athlete. So talk a little bit about him, and then let's get into the game.
Yeah, no, he's been phenomenal. From you knew the talent coming out of college. He won the Heisman Trophy, number 2 overall draft pick. You knew about those things. You can see that just by watching this film. But then when you meet him and you see the humility that he has. First time we interviewed him was the day after he got drafted. And I do a lot of stuff for the content for the Commanders content in addition to calling the games on the radio. So, and I'm sitting there and we're interviewing. I'm just like, man, this dude is so impressive, especially when I compare that against a lot of rookies who haven't accomplished anything nearly to the level that he accomplished. But he just great humility. Work ethic is off the chain, man. His work ethic is just, and he doesn't change. He doesn't go through ebbs and flows, highs and lows, always the same. I call him California Cool. He's from California, man. He's unflappable. Like, all the chaos going on around him, he can just stand in that pocket, deliver throws, and he has special talents with his arm and his legs. He's a true dual threat, and he's not a running quarterback. He's a quarterback that can run. Yeah, and I mean he is special. Some of the things that we've seen him do, no quarterback has done as a rookie in the history of the NFL. He's already done things that only him and Peyton Manning has done. Go on the road, lead a team to 0 punts and 0 turnovers. And in a ball game, and he's done some things that he's tied Tom Brady and some of the other Drew Brees, some of the all-time greats of this game, and great parents and the upbringing that he's had. They've raised him in the right manner. God-fearing kid. He's just man, he is special.
He's been fun to watch. He really has, and his calmness out there, like you said, unflappable, man. He's just there. It's like, man, I'm playing football. This is a good game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he don't change.
So, obviously, I'm a Lions fan. I can't speak on my co-host.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Where are you from?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
But, I'll talk a bit about what I think the Lions are going to have to do to win this game. Talk a bit about what the Commanders are going to have to do to win this game today.
We got to. I'd say this, man. Lions, y'all got a great football team. Dan Campbell and GM Brad Holmes and all the stuff they've done to turn this franchise around. Great team, excellent football players. We're gonna have to survive that. First of all, deal with the crowd noise. That's that environment. Being able to go play mistake-free football or make the least amount of mistakes as possible. Not having the pre-snap penalties with his false starts, offsides, things like that. Win the turnover battle. We can come out of here and I would say even be +2 in the turnover battle. +2, that would definitely bode well. Slowing down this offense, not gonna be able to shut down your offense, but be able to slow them down a little bit. If we can, hold them into the mid-20s, that'll bode well for us. I think it'll be a higher scoring game. I don't know that either defense will be able to truly stop the other one, but if we can, force y'all to kick a couple field goals in the red zone, get a few turnovers and handle the pre-snap penalties and all that type of stuff, win the turnover battle, we're gonna win that game.
And even with turnovers, you're not just talking turnovers, you also talking stopping them on 4th down and things of that nature.
Yeah, and those are it may not go in the stat sheet as a turnover, right? But essentially, it's a turnover.
Exactly.
The momentum shifts too. The momentum that's stopping somebody on a 4th down play, that feels like a turnover to the offense or the defense or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Yeah, it shifts momentum too.
It's gonna be chaotic in there today. We right down the street from Ford Field, and I can hear the fans right now.
Don't peek too soon.
But this is, for Lions fans, this is a long time coming. And we haven't won like this my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to factor in the hunger factor here in all of this. But having David Montgomery coming back today, I think is going to be key. Ball control, putting that ball, running the football, really controlling time of possession, I think is also going to be key. But if the defense can get 3 to 5 stops, and that is stopping them on 4th down, forcing a punt, and in some instances, it's going to be a field goal instead of a touchdown.
Yeah.
If this game gets close, whoever gets the ball last is probably going to have the best chance of winning.
Yeah.
We've seen both quarterbacks be able to make magic in last possession drives. And so, I agree with you. I don't think either one of these defenses is going to be able to stop the other one. It could come down to turnovers, but I also think it's going to be, this, it's going to be who wants it more at the end of the day.
Yeah. Both teams want it. There's no question that both these teams will be prepared. They got great coaching. I know this. Dan Quinn, just watching him and how he's prepared this team all season, they'll be ready for the challenge. And it's a huge challenge, man. Y'all the number 1 seed for a reason. But these guys, man, they got a belief in that they can go and play anybody and win. They got a mantra, anybody, anywhere, anytime. Like, hey, whatever it is, we're going to get it on, and they're going to come in and try to put their best foot forward. It's going to be it's going to be a great environment. I say this, man. If I has that ball last, they've been in a bunch of close games. They've won 5 straight games on the final play of the game. So they're battle tested from that standpoint. I don't know how many close games you guys have all been in this season, but they're not going to blink. However the game is going, they will not blink.
Yeah, it's been a few. We've been in a few, and I like our chances in those close games, particularly at home.
You talking a whole lot of junk when you called me like, hey man, y'all. You said y'all was tailgate. Y'all started y'all tailgate. Soon as y'all found out y'all was playing us. Y'all already. What time they gonna play the NFC Championship game here? What time?
What's next?
What time y'all hosting?
Hey, listen, man. We like our chances today, and we like our chances continuing on in this playoff series. I mean, it's our time. It's our time.
Who's to say it's not our time?
I mean, it might be. But we're gonna see in a couple hours here. We're gonna see in just a couple hours.
It's gonna be fun. I tell you, I will not just Don't change your number over here.
We're looking for a good game to come out of this, man.
My number gonna be the same. I'm gonna be celebrating.
I might be sending you the voicemail.
You just might be. Might be.
I love our team. Same way you love your team, man. I like the way the guys are playing football. They play some outstanding football. And when you got a quarterback like him, like Jaden, he's the great equalizer. All the stuff can be going wrong, and defense got guys covered up, and his ability to extend and make plays with his legs, that's so frustrating from a defensive standpoint. Like, Dad, we did everything right.
Yeah.
But he still was able to make a play against us.
Well, he's going to be tested today. I like the matchup. Clearly Washington wanted us, and we want them.
Hey, we wasn't out here saying, hey, we want Detroit.
The fans, we want Detroit. We want Detroit.
That what they were saying?
Y'all got us.
I don't hear that.
Y'all got us.
We wasn't out there actively saying we want to go play the number 1 seed. But we also know in order to reach the goal that we have, you're gonna have to play the best at some point in time.
Come here.
And it just happens to be today in that divisional playoff game. We got y'all now.
Well, we come to the Detroit segment of our show, the 3-1-3 segment. And so I got the first question for you. So name, you're a Cleveland guy. Name the 3 best athletes to come out of the city of Cleveland.
Oh, Jesse Owens. You got to go with Jesse. Shoot, who else?
Jesse Owens.
Yeah, you look, you weren't expecting that one.
I didn't know you had that one in you.
Who else? Out of Cleveland. LeBron's out of Akron, so I can't. You're not gonna allow me to count him on.
Oh, you don't count LeBron.
Oh, I'll count him.
He's not from Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying. Are you gonna allow me to count him or not?
Well, get to your Cleveland guys, and if you got one left, then you go ahead and pull the Akron dude in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jesse Owens. Who else? Man, who? Cav, who you think? Who?
We can't use Jim Brown then, right?
No, it got to be from Cleveland. Clark Kellogg was a heck of Clark Kellogg, man, was a guy, and me.
I mean, listen, if I was asked the question, I would have led with me.
Well, I understand. Yeah. So that's the 3 I'm gonna go with.
All right. So that was a good 3.
And when it's over, I'm probably gonna be like, man, why
you forgot somebody? Well, we won't hold you to that, man. So 16 years in the league, you had a lot of rivalries and whatnot. So my question to you was, who was your most hated rival?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you like this.
I'm gonna let the man talk.
I once told a dude I was gonna knock that star off his helmet. Running back trying to stiff on me, boy. Next play, wow! I obviously hated the Cowboys, man. That was it. The Cowboys didn't like the Eagles either or the Giants, but it was just something about when I saw that star on the helmet. It brought out the best in me.
You was gonna slap the star of somebody?
Oh, knock the star.
That's different.
Hold on, let me move this. Let me move this and get back to the Brown Couch Bruhz.
I put in work against the Cowboys.
You did.
Hey, I told Tony Romo.
You was killing my.
I told the Cowboys fans one year, they talking trash to me. I said, man, shoot, I caught some of these passes from Romo. I could have been y'all 5th leading receiver.
Hey, man, that was my quarterback, man. That was my quarterback.
Good. So your last 3, you played for a number of franchises. You can even go back to high school, college. Your 3 favorite teammates.
I felt like you was about to say that, man. That's tough right here. That's tough. You can't just because you gonna always. It'll be some guys that you wouldn't know. Like I've had some great. Team. That's the beauty of being on the team sport. Like, you had some great teammates, man. I ain't gonna do that one. Somebody gonna see this. Somebody gonna do that, man. Why?
You forgot me, bro.
How you gonna forget me, man? I ain't gonna even do that, man. I had too many great teammates to just narrow it down to 3.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
hey, you was one of them, though. You was one of my
I'll take that. Well, London Fletcher, thanks for joining us. From the Rose Room in Cleveland to the Pajama Jam and Agnes Hall.
Oh, boy, we didn't even touch on the Pajama Jam.
I'm glad we ain't had social media back then. I'd be in trouble.
Boy, we would have got kicked off campus there.
Well, rumor has it that you're a pretty decent golfer. I gotta check. I gotta find that out as soon as the season is over with. So we're gonna leave you here with a gift from the Brown Couch Bruhz. We got a 3-in-1 tool for you.
Okay. Oh, I appreciate it.
With our emblem on it.
Yeah.
So next time you out there on the links, man, you thinking about the Brown Couch Bruhz.
Oh, I appreciate this, man. Yeah, you stop running from me.
I ain't running. I'm ready.
Stop running from me.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right, let's toast it up.
Man.
London Fletcher.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for joining us, and we are out of here.